All right, welcome to episode 52 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today I am looking at one of the first 3D shows I animated on back in 2011, Fanboy and ChumChum, a very squashy, stretchy 3D show.
But don't read them. They're for girls only.
Sure thing, yo.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Here you go.
Heads up, heads up!
Get your notes,
Come
Incoming.
Look alive!
Look sharp.
Nose coming! Pass these notes and make sure you don't read it. It's for girls only.
And I know just the lie detector to use. Dollinator. Come in, Dollinator.
You've got Dollinator.
All right, so just to quickly answer the question. Now, why would Yo ask Fanboy and ChumChum to hand out the letters for the girls' sleepover? 3 words. Comedy. So looking at ChumChum's pupils here, one of the things that's wonderful about these rigs is the pupils are actually separate geometry, so we could just move those around independent of the eyes. They could float off, they could do whatever we wanted with them. As Yo's coming up into the screen here, she's stretching out. ChumChum's going to be panning back to the right there. He's going to be stretching his head out. Now you can see I've got the storyboard pose there, and I'm not matching it exactly. Look at those bulging pupils. Love it. Love how you can squash those out, stretch them, scale them. Taking the intention from the storyboards, but it's not exactly the same shape. We got more of a balance on Yo there, keeping a clear silhouette from the desk between Yo and the desk, similar to the intention of the boards there. And now cutting back to Fanboy again, similar thing with the Geo. You can always have them on top of the eyes. Little bit of movement, sells a lot with that big open white space on the eyes. Yo's stretching up again, but we want something different with Fanboy here. So we're going to do more of a backwards move rather than a down and up. Also, Fanboy's head is a different shape. So as Yo's coming up here, we're going to have lots of overlap and drag. Here comes the hand, the wrist, the finger, and everything's settling into place there. The head's continuing back. And even then the ponytail is continuing back. Just keep the movement going, keep it going. Lots of overlap. And by the time the ponytail's done, now Yo can start anticipating back. Going to reverse the line of action on that finger. Got these big long fingers. It's a squashy, stretchy show. Yo's line of action is going to bend towards Fanboy. His line of action is going to react to that. Asymmetry in the eyebrows. Extreme bend on the finger there. Look at the silly neck. Again, that's just taken from an idea in the boards there. And as Yo lets off the nose, Fanboy's nose is going to go ba-jing, ba-jing, and that'll continue over to the next shot. And even though it's not an exact hookup, we've got Yo moving back, we've got Fanboy's nose, ba-dum, 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 and it's enough of a hookup there to make it all work. Stretching the fingers. Whenever you've got somebody's hand moving quickly, you can always stretch those fingers, leave them behind. Yo's going to go dancing off. Fanboy and ChumChum are just going to look at her. They're kind of, sure, we'll do your little game. One danger with the pupils here, because it was floating Geo, once in a while you could have it actually go outside of the eyelid on a blink. So we always had to be careful to put them inside the eye whenever we blinked. Now it's time for Fanboy and ChumChum to get to work. They got to start delivering these cards. Each card was a separate asset, so there was always lots of constraints to keep them in the same place. We'll get a bit of overlap here, and this is all from the board timing. Very well done, very solid. Anticipate. Get that card back there, flick it off, stretch it out, follow through with the arm, and just keep it really clear. And now that Fanboy's done, we're going to pass the ball over to ChumChum. ChumChum's going to start with 1. Antic over here, antic over there, cross the body, flick it off. Again, this is all just ideas from the storyboards. Then we're going to snappily drag his fingers down, and he's going to go and do the second one. So we get Fanboy 1, and then we got ChumChum, boom, boom. Really nice beats and pattern that we're setting up. And, let's vary them up. Have this one be a little bit curved, come off in perspective. Now that one went off in perspective, right to left. So we want to keep it going right to left and chop off poor Lupe's ponytail here. Look at her eyes. Again, a separate Geo, you can zip those around. Massive fast move, everything's blurred, and really overshooting, in this case, the pupils. As the next card comes in, boom. Doesn't make sense with the previous card with Fanboy and ChumChum's position in the scene, but so we've got an upshot here in Lupe, so we're not showing any other characters. So we can kind of cheat where everybody is. Now here, we're just cutting to 2 other girls. Again, we're not going to show anybody else in the scene because we want to be really, we want to cheat, basically, the position of Fanboy and ChumChum. Fanboy and ChumChum if they were actually literally throwing it from the position they were in, it would be very, there would only be 3 directions the letters could come in. But we've got the letters coming in from 360 degrees here. Gets hit from the back, glasses fly off. She's putting her hands on the table. She's going to start, oh, where's my glasses? The big overacting Scooby-Doo Velma kind of thing. And now we're passing the ball off. Now that she's looking for her glasses, the second one's going to come in 2 frames in. She actually gets to see it coming, so she's going to react. Boom. Hands are going to come up. Everything's dragging. The foreground character's hands are down already. So now the background character's hands can be up in silhouette. And then the foreground's still looking. And again, the better posing you have, the less animation you need to do. Now, it's not an exact hookup here, but there's so many characters that it doesn't really matter. Again, look at the placement of Fanboy and ChumChum. ChumChum and Fanboy are just throwing these cards all over the place in these random directions. We've only got 12 students in the class here. They end up throwing like 15 cards or something. It makes no sense, but it's funny, and it just keeps the energy moving. Fanboy now, anticipating back. Now at this point, I'd done several of these cards, and I was starting to play with them more and more. So I'm going to have it behind his head, and then I'm going to have it still dragging behind his head, and then I'm going to stretch it out and have him throw it forward there. Really stretching it, really making sure that we've got lots of follow-through on the hand there. Overlap, drag up, settle. Yeah, now this one makes no sense. You just throw it right to left. This one's coming in left to right. Comes in pretty slow. We need 5 frames here, and it's going to hit flat. Really lots of time to read it. Boom, 1 frame, everything changes. Book goes flying, head goes back, asymmetrical hands. Now, it's a key that the rest of the students don't react here. We need to focus our attention. And you can see that Lupe's happy there. It's also an important story point. Everybody that gets an invitation should be happy. This shouldn't be like, ow, what did you do? It's like, oh, I got an invitation. So we're trying to keep this very light and make sure that, nobody's actually appearing to get hurt. Leading with the elbow is something I always say if there's any kind of arm motion that's not very interesting, lead it with the elbow. And you can see there I was stretching out the letter, getting better with my iterating on it and creating variety. Now Fanboy and ChumChum are bored here. Now watch what I do here. Now I'm starting to hold this card for 3 frames. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I'm just holding it back here, holding it back here, holding it back here as the front stretches. And Anna throws. There we go, off screen. And I'm going to do the same thing with Fanboy here. Watch when it hits the back right-hand side. 1, 2, 3. 3 frames or it just gets stuck in the air. If I'd had more cards, I probably would have tried 4. I felt I was pushing my luck with 3 already, though. And there's a reversal of the hand. Pop goes down. Now, on this scene, I did not move Fanboy at all. Absolutely no motion to him. I wanted to try that out, see if I could get away with it. And I think I did. Because looking at ChumChum here, he's the one that's carrying the performance. Look at what you could do with the Geo. Stretching out those pupils, make him look so cute. I put some lattices on the cheeks so I could get some deformation there, so it didn't just look like it was just floating on top of the Geo. Funny lip sync, balanced pose, even, like the boards, storyboards had some good posing, but just trying to make it more interesting, more balanced, pushing that posing. He's got stubby little fingers, so there's only so much you can do there, just trying to create as much shape change as possible, and letting the lip sync and the fingers do the work. So now we're at the slumber party. Again, stretching those fingers whenever we're going to be moving the hands around. Because Fandria now has all this hair, we can have lots of secondary motion. Dragging the finger across, scaling the finger actually in this case. You can stretch it up, you can also scale it up and down. Reversing that line of action, and here it's just the lip sync and the finger that are carrying the load with the animation. Now we're going to cut to closer close-up here, and this implies that no one else in the room can see what's going on. Like if you show a wide shot and Fanboy's doing this, it looks silly. Why isn't everybody else watching? But on a close-up, we look at these Geo and the Geo and the pupils. Love how we can stretch those pupils. Again, the close-up is serving the story here, constantly reversing that finger. And last shot here with Dollarnator. Now Dollarnator, the robot sent back from the future, is all metal. But we've got this malleable shape, so what we have to do with the lip sync here. I really enjoyed doing lip sync with Dollarnator because we've got these teeth that can come on. We've got all this metal that changes shape. Wonderful stuff. A very fun show to work on, Fanboy and ChumChum. I can't believe it's already been more than 10 years. It's just it shows, even back then, shows the potential of 3D to do some zippy funny work. Thanks for checking it out. I'll see you next time. Take care.